Welcome back. This is day 2 of me creating a mixed bed. Yesterday I dropped a video talking about the design and planning behind this bed, and it ended with me placing everything but then taking the night off to get some rest before planting everything. So today after work I restarted working, digging everything down. So what I want to do today is just a brief recap for you who may not have seen the previous video, and then the main topic for today is to go through the plants in detail one by one, and I will be calling this video something along the lines of 20 plus great plants for a mixed sunny bed. So that's the theme for today. So I'm just showing you a brief montage of how I spent my afternoon. Sunny, a bit chilly still, very dry, but very, very rewarding work to see all this planning turn into fruition, and I can't wait to see everything bloom. This will be spectacular. I think this will be even better than the parks you can visit. Well, let's see. So here I am planting some roses. I amend the soil even more with some fine bark mulch and some manure, cow manure, and then some fertilized planting soil. And in this no-dig border there was an abundance of fat worms, so this really worked fantastic. So there, I've got all the big plants down, and all that remains now are the little ones. So let's get started with those. So here I am, happily watering the newly planted bed. And as I said before, I will now take you through each plant and show you pictures of how they will look at their best, and their names and so forth. And I hope that you will get some inspiration for your own beds. So here we go. So the centerpiece tree is a Prunus cerasifera nigra, a blood plum. It's about 6 feet tall, might get a few feet taller in the end. This first picture shows it in bloom, and the other picture shows it after blooming and when it's grown a bit bigger. Now the first shrub to go below that plum is a Deutzia. There are actually 2 of those. Deutzia, Rosa, Yuki cherry blossom. It's from Proven Winners. And it's got an abundance of nice white, pink flowers. I can't wait to see them in action. And about where I'm standing right now watering are 3 geraniums. This is Geranium sanguineum Frivolous Pink. That's a nice name, Frivolous Pink. So there are 3 of those where I'm currently, well, Actually, I'm watering the roses right now, so they are behind the roses. Now, on the other side of the bed, from where I'm standing right now, uh, are, one group of grasses. These are Cecleria höfleriana. Cecleria höfleriana. So there are 3 of those in a grouping on the other side of the bed from where I'm standing right now. And right in front of me now is one of the conifers. This is really a classic. This is Thuja Danica. I try to stay away from it because it's so used, and there are a lot of new varieties out there, but I really don't know what they contribute, because this is just perfect. There's a reason it's a classic. Thuja Danica. This is another one of the shrubs that go underneath the plum tree. This is a new acquaintance for me. This is an Exochorda called The Bride. You can see why. It's kind of a white bridal gown. It's absolutely full of really, really white, small, wonderful flowers. In Swedish it's called a small pearl shrub. Exochorda The Bride. Now this is something I'm more familiar with. This is one of my favorites, a Perovskia, a Russian sage. This one is called Blue Spire. I think it's the most common one. Or in Swedish, Heavenly Spire. I have a few of those elsewhere in the garden, and I'm actually putting some in my neighbor's beds as well right now. They're bloom forever, and I just love the shape and the color. So Perovskia, Blue Spire. Now this is another new acquaintance for me. This is a Caryopteris, clandonensis, heavenly blue. I think it's called bluebeard or something in English, or beard shrub in Swedish. Caryopteris clandonensis, heavenly blue. I didn't find a good picture of it actually, but it looks a bit like a lilac, but it has more of a blue color, and it's also one of the shrubs surrounding the plum tree. Here come the roses, 3 of those. These are not grafted, these are true to the root. Rosa The Fairy. These were quite expensive, ground covering roses. There are 3 of those around where the big stone in the middle of the bed is, along the edge. I really love these kinds of old-fashioned roses. So Rosa The Fairy. Another conifer, a juniper. This is Juniperus squamata Blue Star, a Himalayan juniper. Blue Star as opposed to blue carpet. So this is more of a mounding habit as opposed to the blue carpet that spreads more, it's more prostrate. I have one of those, and I will also plant another more prostrate creeping juniper in my gravel garden, but here I wanted more of a clump form. So Juniperus squamata Blue Star. Another conifer, another favorite, Pinus Mugo. This one's called Mops. It's quite expensive actually, more than I thought. Pinus Mugo, a Mugo pine called Mops. Now this is a blast from the past. A barberry, Berberis thunbergii. This one's called Rose Glow. There's actually two of these. One in the center of the smaller circle, about where I'm watering right now. And the other one is one of the shrubs surrounding the plum tree at the farther end, the bigger circle at the back. So barberry, Berberis thunbergii, Rose Glow. And here comes one of the main attractions in this bed. Hydrangea paniculata wins red with this deep crimson red color. I love it. I will plant more of those in another spot in the garden. This is placed in the back half, but not really under the plum tree, but rather in front of it, just behind the big stone. Hydrangea paniculata wins red. Pretty expensive, but wonderful. Just to the right of the stone, pretty much where I'm watering right now in the picture, is another grass, a miscanthus, a huge one. Miscanthus sinensis silberspinne, I think, a German name. I don't know what it means. Silver something, but not, well, miscanthus. A Chinese miscanthus, a big giant miscanthus. Really nice habit to that grass. And this is a Pieris japonica called Forest Flame. I have a number of Pieris in another bed, but this is another variety, Forest Flame, and it looks really promising, both in terms of the leaf color and also the blooms. So it will be very interesting to see. You can see it's fiery red, really. So I've got two of those. Pieris japonica Forest Flame. And exactly where I'm watering right now is a mini lilac. This is Syringa meyeri, Palibin, a dwarf lilac. Syringa meyeri, brand name Palibin. I think this is a pretty common one. For me, lilacs are like weeds. I wouldn't normally plant one, but this really looks adorable. Not at all like the big lilacs that surround my garden. So and it really complements the other colors and shrubs around the plum tree. And exactly where I'm watering right now is this conifer, Picea abs nidiformis, a bird's nest spruce. I have one of those also in another bed, but I really love those. They're so cute. Picea abs nidiformis, a bird's nest spruce. And one of the smaller perennials among all these shrubs and conifers, a lily, a hemerocallis. This one's called strawberry candy. It's a real common one, a daylily, and I really love it. So let's hope that it really thrives in this place. Hemerocallis strawberry candy. Also one of the smaller plants mixed in among the shrubs is this Astrantia. Astrantia major. I don't really know the exact trade name for this variety, but it's white, at least. I have other Astrantias around the garden that are not white, but this one is more or less. So, Astrantia major. Most Astrantias, I think, prefer semi-shade. This is as sunny a spot as you could ever get. So, but I've been told that this particular variety likes it that way. Astrantia major. Yet another smaller plant among the shrubs. This is a geum. I love geums. This one is called Tempo Rose. It has this particular color and also a bit of a different habit than most of the geums that I have in my garden. So it's more like an old school habit. Yeah, that's how I interpret it anyway. Geum Tempo Rose. There's a total of 9 geraniums in the bed, in 3 groups of 3. 2 of the groups are Frivolous Pink, which I've shown you before. But then the last group, consisting of 3, are Geranium Max Frei. That's a bit of I think a classic as well. It has a much deeper, more lilac color. Now this conifer is my favorite. It was also one of the more expensive plants in this bed. This is an Abies Lasiocarpa compacta. It looks really special, delicate, luxurious, somehow elegant, a dwarf form, of course. Yeah, so Abies Lasiocarpa compacta. And last but not least, a third grass. This one is new to me. It's Casmantium latifolium. Casmantium latifolium. Yeah, and I really love the habit. It's planted in the front left corner. So it will be interesting to see how big it gets. Casmantium latifolium. So, and that's the last one on the list. I think 21 or so varieties. And hopefully you found something that you found interesting. And well, if you like the channel, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you again. Bye bye.